Hello, my name is Exabu, and this is Unity Command 2 Barbarossa DLC first Kharkov mission on hard. 3, 2, 1. Alright, welcome to the world of mud. Yes, first Kharkov is a horrifying mission. I actually mentioned it in my cracking video. You look at this brown, and you just like lose all motivation, all desire to live. It's horrifying. But I found that it's not that terrible to a degree, to an extent, thanks to its small size. It's not a big mission. And so I actually touch upon it in my cracking video, but there are two ways of approaching Kharkov, because that's where you're supposed to do everything. And on my classic run, I actually did it in the north, in that salient where you've got the light division and the enemy cavalry, like leading towards the enemy supply hub and everything. But as you can see in my hard playthrough, I actually preferred that route because it's easier to envelop Kharkov that way. But as you can see, the divisions there, I really severely damaged. So, and I really can't do anything, even with the artillery steps and everything. So as you can see, I'm just shortening my front line there, just make it easier. Make sure that, well, it's covered, but really, there's no need. The Soviets are kind of not trying to attack here, so they will try to be defensive and will retreat. So as you can see in Sumy, I've managed to force the Soviets to retreat, and I'm guessing Sumy is going to be mine next turn. That's a very good idea, even though that part of the map was not super successful for me. And here's me making another mistake. So I've let the Soviet cavalry cross and cut my supply line in that area in the east. Yes, it will always try to do that if you don't have anything covering that hex. So make sure you do it. Don't be me. But thankfully, it's not too difficult to kill that cavalry, and you're getting reinforcements in that area as well. But not too soon, so it doesn't matter really. So it's not very difficult to kill them. So it's not the end of the world. So you will probably be able to still take loss of ire in time, even if the cavalry screws you over on turn 1. Just make sure that light division, it's very important to give an artillery step to that light division. It's very good if that light division is experienced. So in my classic playthrough, it was an elite unit. I was really happy about it. So Sumy is mine. And at this point, I was thinking of moving these guys towards Sumy, but as you will see, I will just let them hang out in that source of supply next to the edge of the map. I've decided not to worry about them. They're very difficult to supply, and my main thrust of attack is way too far from them. If you do the north salient in the center, yes, you can actually use them to kind of converge on that supply hub and use them that way, and you don't have to take you have to take Sumy, but you don't have to hold it. So you could just leave it and go towards that supply hub and probably resupply those guys as well. So as you can see, the Soviets are kind of desperately trying to do something about the defenses, and actually largely succeeding. So they're setting up another line. They see what I'm trying to do. And yeah, so they see that I'm not defending Poltava, and they're not counterattacking there either. They see that I'm trying to push towards Kharkov and really not doing anything around Poltava. I'm doing a bit of attacking there. I'd say it's a good idea to actually kill that infantry division. One, because it gives you... It can cut your supply lines. You might be interested in setting up a supply hub there. I decided against it because I really needed supplies elsewhere. But those 3 divisions you have there, they might be useful in cutting the railway feeding the Kharkov from the northwest. So it's it's one of the 3 railways feeding Kharkov, and if you cut it, it's a good bonus because you have precision bombardment. You can actually destroy those bridges in the east, even though I kind of advise you against it. You'll see. So okay, these guys are getting some supplies, and I think next turn is going to be... Alright, so it's going to happen next turn. So I'm trying to deal some damage here. I still have quite a lot of time until Kharkov becomes due, even though I I recommend you not to wait until turn 8, which is the deadline for Kharkov, because, like, the route between, like, in order to very successfully, confidently advance from Kharkov to Belgorod, you generally need 2 turns. Like, in 1 turn, it can be challenging, and you may be subject to luck. To bad luck, especially. So I got slightly lucky there. I was able to take you, as you will see, I was able to take it on Kharkov on turn 8, and then take Belgorod on turn 9. Oh, that beautiful, beautiful white. And, but there was a bit of luck. So it wasn't a perfect run. So that's actually one of the advantages of pushing from the northern salient, because you envelop Kharkov from the north and reaching Belgorod. I had runs, classic runs, where I took Belgorod before Kharkov. So yeah. Certainly the northern salient has its advantages, but I didn't have the choice. So these divisions in the northern salient are way too weak, and I really don't have the time to try and reposition my troops and everything. So I had to go for the southern salient, and as you can see, I reasonably succeeded. And by the way, I've actually captured their bridge between Kharkov and Kupiansk. And that's actually one of the advantages of the southern salient strategy, because it's actually much easier to reach Kupiansk. As you can see, it's not well protected. It's not even a village. It's a name of a village, I'm assuming, or town, but it's not a village or town hex. So there's just one cavalry division. It's not entrenched or anything. Its only defense is the mud, right? So, and I've got like a veteran division with 2 heavy artillery steps there. So yeah, it's not going to be difficult. So Kupiansk is extremely easy with this approach. So because you already have this little, almost a bridgehead there, and it's not going to be too difficult to approach it, and I definitely will not need 12 turns to reach Kupiansk. And by the way, I have cut the supply of Kharkov, which is excellent. Still struggling to actually cut the supply of the guys in the center. So that level 3 supply hub, once again, that's one of the advantages of the northern strategy, because it's very easy to take that supply hub, and, well, the Soviets won't have it. Won't have those three pizza trucks for another 3 turns, which is always valuable. At this point, I will send essentially a division on a suicide mission to take that. I think it will be that light division, and it will be killed. But this is essentially the penultimate mission. I'm assuming you're doing this after Crimea. This is going to be the penultimate mission in the entire south for this DLC. So don't worry too much. And the mission that comes next after this, Rostov, or Rostov actually, the correct stress is, on the 2nd syllable, and infantry, some of the infantry you see now will participate, but the tanks and your motorized divisions will play the title role, and yeah. So, like, if you lose some of that infantry, screw it, it doesn't matter. So yeah, and this is what I'm doing. Actually, not capturing that supply hub. I don't have enough movement points to do that because of the mud. But I have cut off that supply, actually the road that feeds that supply hub. So the guys in the center are now cut off completely, thankfully. Finally. And I'm really happy that Kharkov is running out of supply, and on turn 8 I will take it. The Soviets are trying to relieve it, and I will probably on turn 7 I will try to kind of prevent them from doing that. Oh, that was a lot of luck. So I got extremely lucky here, getting frozen terrain in Kharkov. And by the way, don't worry about using an air support card right from the start, because the game gives you an air support card, a truck card, and a emergency supply card. So, like, I actually didn't even take that emergency supply card in my hard playthrough, because I didn't have enough space and I had better cards to use. Yes. And I'm guessing, yeah, so I'm slowly advancing. Kharkov is mine on turn. Actually, I did manage to take it on turn 7. So, yes, so actually, it wasn't just luck. So I actually followed my own rules and took 2 turns to take Belgorod. So, absolutely, just plan this in. So you really need 2 turns to comfortably take Belgorod, and this will actually be an illustration of this. I actually forgot about that, even though I completed this mission yesterday. This is from yesterday. But you can't remember everything, and I forgot this. Alright, so turn 7, let's see what the Soviets did, but at this point they're kind of running out of steam, and they won't be able to do much, but they will still be able to kill my light division. To be honest, because of the combat bonus, they were really reinforcing Belgorod. The AI is really great at reinforcing the immediate objectives. And it makes sense. It makes sense. That's generally what a real human player would do. So, speaking of light divisions, they are some of my favorite units were some of my favorite units on Classic, because there is there is no hard bonus, like the bonus the opponents get on hard. They are pretty strong, and all of my in this mission, in my classic playthrough. All of my light division, or most of my light divisions, were elite units. It was so easy for them to, and I really love them because they're faster than infantry. They're still reasonably strong, and yeah, especially with specialist steps and everything. And I really liked them. On hard because of the combat bonus the opponent gets. It's just not possible. It's just not. You can't really expect that to happen. And I'm not really doing well on turn 8, advancing towards Belgorod, and I think there was mod next turn. I really got unlucky. Oh no, I got really lucky here, so it's still frozen. But in fairness, I think the percentage of frozen, or the likelihood of getting frozen or not. Let's see. Oh no, of course. And my guys are out of supply, but thankfully the Soviets somehow managed to kind of retreat. Actually, I probably I actually played the AI. I probably scared it off, showing that I'm advancing towards Kupiansk, and forced it to move a few of those troops to Kupiansk and try to defend it better, because obviously not well defended. And I think I'm taking Izum as well. Yes, it's, well, the 9th turn is the deadline for Izum. And I think Izum is where you get the air supply card. And at this point, I'm only left with Kupiansk and almost forgetting about defending Kharkov. As you can see, it's empty right now. I think it was like almost the last thing I did. I almost hit the end turn button, like just in the nick of time. I realized, oh crap, Kharkov is undefended. And yes, it was slightly horrifying. Yes, and then I did that. All right, yes, that's pretty much the last thing I did. I just like, oh, that would have been disaster. All right, and the Soviets at this point can't do anything serious, and I'll gradually move into Kupiansk and take it over. Right now in that area, the supply situation is terrible. It's very difficult. You don't get any railway-based sources of supplies, so it's very difficult to. I'm gonna try and kill them right away, aren't I? Yes, and I'm taking Kupiansk, and yes. So I'm guessing this is it. Kupiansk is a very difficult area. It's very difficult to reach it with supply. I'll finish my thoughts. And so, yeah, you need to do this kind of seesaw action. So move your troops in, move them out to get supply, move them in, out, out, and out. But it didn't take a lot. And by the way, I'm not using these guys in Sumi. They're not really necessary there. I'm just moving them about so that they get some of that pizza from the source of supply at the edge of the map. And so this is it. And thank you for listening and watching.